I'm in the world, but not of it. I praise God every day and I love it. I say what I want and I say what they want. I stand for the truth and what's right and they don't. Life is simple, it's no puzzle. Common sense will tell you not to wear a muzzle. Fear no evil, trust no people. When in doubt, shout, I'm a believer. I fear no man, though the world is broken. God, shine your light on me. I fear no man, though the world is broken. God, shine your light on me.
I offend everybody, the left, right, in the middle. Blame my parents because I've been this way since I was little. It used to be normal, now everybody praying to crystals. No wonder why it's so easy for the devil to trick you. They treat you like dogs, hitting muzzles all on your faces, forcing kids to wear them in schools. Doesn't this seem outrageous? They ban Bible scriptures on TikTok.
Let's go to Target! Let's go to Target! Need some PlayStations! Let's go to Target!
I'm in the world, but not of it. I praise God every day and I love it. I say what I want and I say what they want. I stand for the truth and what's right and they don't. Life is simple, it's no puzzle. Common sense will tell you not to wear a muzzle. Fear no evil, trust no people. When in doubt, shout, I'm a believer. I fear no man, though the world is broken. God, shine your light on me. I fear no man, though the world is broken. God, shine your light on me.
I offend everybody, the left, right, in the middle. Blame my parents because I've been this way since I was little. It used to be normal, now everybody praying to crystals. No wonder why it's so easy for the devil to trick you. They treat you like dogs, hitting muzzles all on your faces, forcing kids to wear them in schools. Doesn't this seem outrageous? They ban Bible scriptures on TikTok.
Let's go to Target! Let's go to Target! Need some PlayStations!
Welcome to the Dreadedconservative show. Guys, it's Monday night. We're kicking the week off right. I'm not muted. I'm not muted. Let's go. Boom. All right. We got a little show tonight. I'm going to try to get through the news real quick because I really want to get to the last part. But we're going to start with the news. Everybody's been talking about the Epstien list for like 2 weeks now. So I guess we're going to look at some stuff. I guess we got some updates from today while I was asleep. I woke up and on my feed, Ghislaine is trying to get a deal. Ghislaine's trying to cut a deal. Ghislaine's trying to drop some names. Ghislaine's trying to drop some names. She said, well, they're not going to release the list. Maybe I can get some time off my sentence if I drop some names. But it looks like the DOJ is saying, D no way. G-Lang, G no way. The DOJ saying G no way. How'd you get my shirt? You got this shirt? Because I shop at Walmart. And we all got Walmart shirt. If you shop at Walmart, we all got the same shirt. That's how I got your shirt. What else? Potentially Dan Bongino dropping out of the FBI. A lot of people thought they could handle being on the Trump administration. They wanted the fame, but they weren't expecting the hate that would come with it. And I don't think they can handle the pressure like Trump can. What else? Epstein stuff. Anti-Semitic Grok. Grok is anti-Semitic. Wow. Wow. We've got a small hat hating, a bagel hating Grok. AI, even AI doesn't like them. What does that mean? I don't know, but anti-Semitic Grok and I would have covered it last week, but we had a lot of stuff last week with 4th of July and all that stuff. But on 4th of July, there was a attack on an ICE officer in an ICE facility in Texas. And the guy is still at large. He's wanted. So we'll look into that story that I missed. And that's it for the main story news that we'll cover. And then we got some memes, we got some reels, we got some rapid fire news stories. Give you a little preview of UFC 318, which is gonna be lit. This Saturday is gonna be hype. I'm excited. I'm very excited. And then for the final segment, which I'm gonna try to get like at least an hour, maybe an hour and a half of that, the Utah Treasure Hunt 2025. If you've been around the channel for a while, you saw we did the Utah Treasure Hunt 2023. I missed it in 2024. I wasn't paying attention to Instagram, which is where I get notified that it's starting. It started like a week ago, so we're a little late to the ball game. We're gonna have to play some catch up. But the Utah Treasure Hunt 2025, there's a box with $25,000 hidden somewhere in Utah County, and I want to find it because I would like $25,000. But we're gonna look at the clues, pull up some Google Earth, try to figure some clues out, take some notes, make a little file, and for the next couple weeks in the streams, we'll probably take a little bit out of each stream to kind of work on this. And if you guys help me solve it, you know, you don't have to send any super chats because I'll have $25,000. Bet you thought I was going to say I was going to split it with you? What? My camera's doing that flickering thing again. Hold on. I know how to fix it. We got to open this. This should stop the flicker. Okay, hopefully that works. Hopefully that works and we don't get the flicker. I don't like the flicker. All right. So let's get into... Oh, but first, it is White History Month. It's White Boy Summer. I was just watching Pierce Morgan and Dean Cain and some other guys talking about the new Superman movie. Apparently, it's not super woke. Like a lot of people were scared. They were kind of like baiting people by saying, you know, Superman is actually an immigrant in this movie. And then in the comments, everybody's like, well, he's an alien from space. He's always been an immigrant. But Dean Cain saying, no, he's actually a refugee, not an immigrant. But it's not super woke, apparently, but it is filled with beta males. Everybody cries. All the men are crying and feminine and weak. Weak Superman. That doesn't make sense. Thank you for the super chat. Hey, where's my sound? There it is.
I've been broke my whole life. Now money.
Super chats. Thank you, Istami. Apparently, Superman's kind of a beta male in this movie. So we gotta bring back White Boy Summer, you know. We gotta bring back White Boy Summer. It is White History Month. We always play this song every week in White History Month, but I'm also gonna play something else to give a little more background to what White History Month is. But first, let me pull this up. Here we go. Guys, it's White History Month. You ready?
Set up well, almost too well. You don't have to go too
You went with it. Now,
No, she's married
Isms.
to that,
Isms.
The big guy with the
Isms.
eyeliner, right?
Beta.
Drogo. Daddy and I are
Black.
never gonna get a divorce, but if we did, we
It's
would
amazing.
both just
E
as
Black.
much.
It's a relief. Thank you, Moms. Hit the play button.
I have a major
announcement.
right now. The 1st of July is White History Month. So the whole month is White History Month from now on. Happy White History Month.
It's White History Month. I'm
Gonna celebrate with my friends.
It's White History Month. So be sure to tell everyone there will always be different months to celebrate. This month's gonna be White History. It's White History Month.
History Month.
And I'm gonna celebrate America. It's White History History Month. And I'm gonna scream it to everyone. There will always be different months to celebrate. But this month's gonna be White History.
Shout out Trevor Wesley. Jim Bob got a shout out in that. JLP. Let me give you a little background. We always play that. I usually don't play this. This is 4 minutes. I want to show you the origins of White History Month. This is the 7th year. Shout out JLP for starting White History Month. I've tried to start 2 petitions on makechange.org to start an official White History Month. I've requested the mayor to do it on her Facebook. She won't do it. She'll put up a Juneteenth flag and a gay flag and a trans flag. But we can't get like a white guy on a cross, for White History Month, or like a Christian History Month or anything like that. We don't get a Christian flag or a white people flag. We get all the other oppressed communities' flags. My people been fighting 4,000 years and still to this day talking about Christians. We've been oppressed. But this is the origins.
I have a major announcement right now.
7 years.
As of today, the 1st of July, which today is the 2nd, I think, yeah, 2nd. But the 1st of July is White History Month. White History Month. So the whole month is White History Month from now on. Happy White History Month. As of July 1, 2018, we will be celebrating the entire...
I started watching JLP in like late 2019. So I came in after White History Month started, like a year into White History Month. But we've been celebrating every year since.
Our month of July, White History Month. And the reason I picked July, put it there, James. The reason I picked July is because white Christian males and female conservative, straight men and women of God
are the most
are very
hated.
patriotic, and July just fit with white people. 4th of July, vacations, a quiet moment to
Barbecue.
appreciate the freedom that this great country offers. And so I figured, since white people founded this country and created the Constitution, then why, if we can have Black History Month, they haven't done a thing. The Gay History Month, who have not done anything. The Mexican months and the Indian months and the Japanese month and Chinese month. Why not White History Month? This is their country. So for the entire month, we're going to be celebrating White History Month of July. So happy White History Month, white folks. This is your country. Thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate the fact that you founded, created one of the greatest countries on this side of heaven. No one else can do this. So thank you so much. And I'm showing my appreciation by recognizing your month. Isn't that something?
Isn't that something?
That is something else. So happy History Month. And, this is our first time doing it, so my team and I have been thinking about how we're going to do it. We're going to present, good things that white folks have done to make this country so great. I want to hear from you, your testimonies about white history and how you see it and blah, blah, blah. All right? Jeff, thank you for holding. Go ahead.
All right, we're not going to listen to the callers, but that's the origins of White History Month. Shout out JLP. I got my t-shirt. We wore it last week. We'll probably wear it again next week. Can't wear it every week in White History Month, But, so shout out White History Month, Let's move on. Okay, Epstien stuff. Here we go. The Epstien stuff. So they promised us the list was coming out. And I know I've talked in streams. I've said, this is not the biggest concern for me. This is not the top of my list of concerns because the two people who should be held accountable for this, most of all, first and foremost, I got to be very careful how I say things because people are going to get the wrong perception. They're going to think that I'm like defending PDF files or something and they're going to lose their minds. No, that's not what I'm doing. But the two people who should be held accountable first and foremost are Epstien and Ghislaine. Now, allegedly, Epstein's dead. How he died, questionable. I haven't even watched the footage that they released yet. We're going to watch it today. You guys have probably seen it. I haven't even watched it. I've waited to watch it in the show. But if he's dead and Ghislaine's in jail, those are the two people who should be held accountable first and foremost. From what I understand of the case, from what we know, it wasn't like he was going and kidnapping 8-year-olds from foreign countries and like keeping them locked up in this place. From what I understand, he was going to a high school. He got a high school age girl who did a rub and tug and got $300 for doing a rub and tug. You know, good payday. But the girl was underage. And then she was like, oh, well, this is easy money. And then he said, go recruit some of your friends. And she went and got some of her friends, brought them. Then they end up going to live on a tropical paradise and do rub and tugs for very high pay to rich and powerful men. Now, I get the argument. They're underage. They can't consent. But we're talking about 15-year-old girls who willingly went to live on a tropical paradise and sleep with rich and powerful men for very large amounts of money. Like, you know, it doesn't sound like torture. That's all I'm saying. It doesn't sound like torture. And now all those women get Netflix specials. We're going to look at the Victim Relief Fund, which JP Morgan just approved $290 million, I believe, to get paid out to the victims. So these girls did something that, although they could not consent, I get it. They were underage. They can't possibly consent. Their amygdala, their frontal cortex isn't fully formed until they're 24. So we can't hold anybody accountable for anything they do until they're 24 years old. Be consistent with that, people. Nobody's consistent with that. They'll bring it up when it fits their narrative, but they won't be consistent with it. Be consistent with it. If that's the argument, you can't consent until you're 18. Why? Why is this an arbitrary date? Why do kids get charged as an adult sometimes based off the severity of the crime? We often charge 15-year-olds as adults based on the severity of the crime. Well, going to live in a tropical paradise and giving rub and tugs to rich and powerful men for very large amounts of money seems like a severe incident that I think we can charge them as adults for that. I think we can say, you made an adult decision and you got a lot of benefits for doing it. You were living a life that most girls that age would dream to have. You know, we'll treat them like adults in that scenario. Like we would treat a 15-year-old who did an audacious crime. We would treat them like an adult. If it's they can't consent because their frontal cortex isn't formed, well, let's not hold anybody accountable for anything until they're 24 years old. But people won't be consistent with that. Also, if it is the case that these powerful men in government and in entertainment were tricked and blackmailed, they went to an adult party with a bunch of adults drinking, doing adult activities, drugs probably. And, you know, Epstein's like, hey, I got this back room where I got a bunch of super attractive ladies who want to give you a massage. And guess what? There's a happy ending. And I'm on an island in a foreign country in foreign waters. We got international foreign waters. I'm thinking this is on the up and up. You know, all these powerful people, this isn't a trick. I'm going to go in there and get, I wouldn't. I don't think anybody should be sleeping with anybody outside of marriage. You know, I'm a celibate. I'm king incel because I'm not, I don't got a woman. But I don't think guys should just, it's all degenerate to me. But degeneracy isn't a crime. Maybe it should be. That's a conversation we could have. But currently, degeneracy on its face is not a crime. So these guys are degenerates, but they weren't willingly like going out there looking for 8-year-olds. They went out there to have a good time and they got tricked. And then they say, we got a camera and those girls are actually underage. Now we have blackmail on you. I don't think all those names should be released to the public. I think we should wait until we have guilt. You don't just want to give it over to the court of public opinion. You want to wait until, if it is the case that that Epstein's taking like real young girls, and there's guys who are specifically saying, hey, Epstein, I want one of them young things. Okay, bury that guy under the jail. Epstein, Ghislaine, and all those guys, bury them under the jail, release those names, but go through the proper procedures to make sure we know who they are first. And we're not just releasing some guy that did something degenerate, screwed up, and we're going to destroy their whole lives over it. Maybe I'm crazy for thinking that. I think it's a pretty fair position. I do think that it is a mistake on the Trump administration's behalf for saying that they're going to release it and then not releasing it. Like, you guys jumped the gun. Maybe that was to get some votes because it is a popular topic, but you tell the people, we got the list. We're going to release the list. And then it's a nothing burger. That was kind of deceptive. I'm not happy about that. But I just think they shouldn't have ever said anything about it in the first place. He's kind of just using that as a way to get elected. But those are my thoughts on it off the rip from what I know about the case. If there's other things that were more nefarious that I don't know about, people think it's like the movie Sound of Freedom. When that movie came out, we went into Carlos Slim, who was at one time the richest man in the world and helped fund the movie Sound of Freedom, the Operation Underground Railroad from Utah, which it's not, I raised $100 for Operation Underground Railroad. And then I found out there's some like scammy stuff with that. And Carlos Slim helped fund the Hillary Clinton campaign and was probably friends with some of these guys. And now he's helping fund Operation Underground Railroad. He's helping fund the Sound of Freedom movie. But you were involved in that stuff, Carlos. So something fishy's going on here. And we talked about that a long time ago. I don't remember all the details off the top of my head because that was like 2 years ago. But the Sound of Freedom movie is not the Epstein stuff. Those are different things. But if Epstein was like kidnapping young girls from Venezuela, and then there's guys that are coming out looking for very young girls, yeah, bury those people, castrate them, and put them under the jail. I'm totally cool with that. But let's go through the proper, let's not just release everything to the public before we know who is actually the really bad guys. That's all I'm saying. And that's why this isn't like a huge priority to me. But anyway, it's Donald Trump versus Maga from CNN. In the days since the Trump administration released a memo about Jeffrey Epstein directly at odds with conspiracy theories pushed by the president and some of his top lieutenants, Trump's movement and most ardent supporters are in revolt. Yep. This is causing a rift in MAGA. Luckily, Trump's already in for his second term. He's not going to be running again, even though he may troll the media and say he's going to do Trump 2028. It's not going to happen. He can't. Well, we could find a way to make it happen, but I don't think it's going to happen. So it's okay that there's a rift in MAGA. He's already in. We're good. And this has happened before. This happened with when DeSantis was running. I saw there's a lot of dandelions. There's a lot of people that get blown to and fro in the wind. They have no loyalty. They don't stand 10 toes down on their business. It's every week it's a different thing with a lot of people on the internet, a lot of talking heads. They go wherever the wind blows them. But that's okay. That can happen now because guess what? He's already in there, baby. You got him for another 3 years, whether you like it or not. So we're good. But Justice Department and the FBI released a memo last week concluding there was no evidence that Epstein had a list of powerful men who participated in his alleged The crazy thing is they already released the list. When it first happened, the list came out. The flight logs. Then, when they released the list, when Pam Bondi released the list, it was the same list they had already released. So, like, I don't know if people just don't pay attention, but we've had the list. The list has been released since this first started 2-3 years ago. I've seen the list. You've seen the list. We've all seen the list. And people think that there's like gonna be another list. Like, no. The list was the flight logs. And it doesn't tell us anything because as we know, people would borrow his plane. Rich people share their jets sometimes. So Trump's on the flight logs. Mark Wahlberg's on the flight logs. A lot of maybe decent guys. I don't know. I don't know them personally. I can't judge their heart. I've never even talked to these people. But guys that seem like decent guys are on that list. And we've had it. Yes, after years of big promises to the president's base, the memo failed to produce a smoking gun, undercutting Trump in his team's own words, and MAGA world isn't happy, pitting the president's closest allies against one another. I think a lot of MAGA just isn't paying attention because we've had the list. I knew there was not going to be another list, but we were kind of deceived. They did play it, so I'm not happy about that. You know, don't say that you got like some other list just to get some votes, and then when it's time to release it, like, well, there's no more list. All of a sudden, I had a feeling that's what was going to happen, and that's what happened. With Trump defending the findings, the situation has set up an unprecedented loyalty test between the president and the movement he created. While Trump has long held significant sway over his base, the situation marks one of the first times his movement is not taking cues from its leader. Second time, the first time was with DeSantis. A lot of people flipped, and they're like, nope, DeSantis is winning. Speaking of somebody, where's Dane the Balloon Man? You owe me $100, buddy. I want my $100. Okay? I don't bet lightly. And when I bet, I want to get paid out if I lose. And I pay people out if I lose. He bet $100 that DeSantis would be the next president. And I said, wait, so I don't even have to pick a candidate. All I have to do is say DeSantis won't be the next president? He said, yep. He said he's betting $100 that DeSantis would be the next president. I said, I'll take that bet. I'll take that bet in a heartbeat. And guess what? DeSantis is not the next president. Therefore, I want my $100. Where's my... Show me the money. Okay? But anyway, infighting between the DOJ and FBI came to a head Wednesday at an explosive meeting where FBI Director Kash Patel and his deputy Dan Bongino were confronted about whether they were behind a story that said the FBI wanted more information on Epstein released, but was ultimately stymied by the Department of Justice. After the meeting, Bongino told people he was considering resigning. We have another story specifically on that. Bongino thought he could handle the heat. He can't handle the heat. Now he's talking about resigning. But let's watch this. They also released footage of the video. Apparently, this footage has been run through. I read a thing. It said it, like some people like back mapped it or whatever it's called, and they figured out that this has been run through like Adobe Premiere. It's got like 4 edits in it. heavily edited video that they released to us, missing like a minute of footage, kind of like the Crowder Ring doorbell situation. They must have been using a Ring doorbell in the prison because remember there was like a cut in the Crowder video footage, and everybody's like, well, that's because it's a Ring doorbell, and that's how Ring doorbells work. They stop every so often. That's why there's a cut there. Well, I guess this prison is using Ring doorbells for their security camera because we have some cuts, boys and girls. But let's watch this. Bro, what's up with the music, Independent? You can't play. You're playing like some happy. I'm not frolicking through a meadow. We're about to see a guy die in prison. The music needs to be like, dum, dum, dum. This is like I feel like we should be running around with butterflies in a meadow somewhere. Jeffrey Epstein in orange jumpsuit is led to his cell by guards on August 9th, 2019. I'm going to mute because this music's probably copyright. All right, he's getting led to his cell. Now he's off the camera. Cut 1. Cut to a zoom. Guard walks in the direction of Epstein's cell. So we don't even really see anything. Cut. 10:41. Can't see the clock anymore. Cut to a zoom. I can't see the clock. I don't know if Independent's doing this or if this is how it is for every copy of the video. 6:28. Guard delivers what appears to be food trays. Let's see. 6:30. Guards seen moving back and forth between a Epstein of area of Epstein's cell and the common area. The common area and an isopod. 6:34 a.m. Eat it! No, not yet. More guards enter the common area, presumably after the discovery of the body. Eat it! Ain't no sense praying for him no more. He gone. So this is horrible, by the way. It's a horrible angle. Like, you can't see anything in this footage. This is why I didn't watch it yet, because I kind of knew it was going to be worthless surveillance footage. Like, nothing. We got nothing. We got nothing from that. Absolutely nothing. That's kind of what I figured. There's my first reactions of watching that. I waited till the Monday night show to watch that footage, and there's nothing there. There's nothing. Like, even if it wasn't edited, even if it was a continuous cut, you don't see anything. You don't see into the cell. That doesn't show us anything. Alive or dead? Oh, well, that's why I say allegedly dead. He could still be on an island. There's also stuff coming out now that he was a intelligence community asset, which could be Saudi intelligence, Mossad intelligence, or CIA intelligence, or all three. And we know that Ghislaine Maxwell had some ties to the Mossad, and so now, you know, Grok and the J haters are all saying that this is it's always the J's with some people. I don't know about, well, I would believe that he was tied to some intelligence things. I would believe that he had connections with the Mossad, and that Ghislaine did, and the CIA. And a lot of people are saying that that's why the list that already came out a long time ago can't come out, is because the CIA got involved, and they're like, yo, wait, hey, can't be doing that. And they either blackmail them or bribe them. But I wouldn't be surprised if he was tied in with some intelligence, quote unquote, communities. I've yet to see a corpse. Right. And that's why I'm saying allegedly, because it's possible he's on the island with Tupac, you know. Tupac, you know, he's got another island now, the secret dead celebrity island, He's living out there, and now they got another trafficking ring. Yeah. And by the way, I'm not what I said earlier, I'm not justifying human trafficking. Also, I did say he and Ghislaine should definitely be held accountable. I think Ghislaine's sentence was too soft. She's basically in a pampered Martha Stewart prison. What'd she get? I think she got 20 years, 22 years, which she'll probably do 15. And it's like a Martha Stewart federal jail. It's like the Pampers jail. I think she even requested which prison. I can't remember, but I think she requested which prison she'd go to. She picked like the nicest one where you can like bake cakes and stuff. But yeah, I've yet to see a corpse. Epstein could have another island set up with Tupac. Yep. But here's Pam Bondi before we get to Bongino potentially leaving the FBI. I'm trying to get through all this stuff quickly, but let's watch this. This is Pam Bondi explaining the missing minute from the Epstein tape. My computer's freezing up, or this article's. Here we go.
From the video, we released the video showing the video was not conclusive. We released the video showing definitively the video was not conclusive.
It's quiet.
But the evidence prior to it was showing he committed.
Ah.
Over 100 years ago, dairy farmers.
Hold on. There's a ad. It's a short one. Oh, and then there's another one. Wow. 2 ads. What the heck? What the heck? I don't know what just happened. It just skipped to a different video. Maga pundit throws tampon at colleague. Well, I wanted to see what Pam Bondi had to say. Video footage released by the Department of Justice of Epstein's cell door in the house before he was found dead was likely altered. Last week, DOJ and FBI released 11 hours of full raw surveillance footage from inside New York's Metropolitan Correctional Center on the evening of August 9th through the early hours of August 10th in an effort to undermine conspiracy theories surrounding Epstein's suicide. As scrutiny over the Trump administration's handling of the Jeffrey Epstein investigation intensified, a new analysis by Wired challenged the administration's claim that the footage was unedited. The file contains video surveillance footage saved by a Windows user at least 4 times over a 23-minute period, which means they're like working on it and then they save, and they work on it and then they save. That's kind of what they're implying here. The video appears to compromise at least 2 separate MP4 files that have been stitched together. Appears to have been assembled from at least 2 source clips, saved multiple times, exported, and then uploaded to the DOJ's website where it was presented as raw footage. So that's fishy. Beyond issues with metadata, Freire questions the aspect ratio suddenly shifts. Yeah, when it keeps zooming in and out, and when it zooms in, you can't see the clock. So I don't think the Independent did that. I think those were cuts in the quote-unquote raw footage. Surveillance cameras don't do that. That's not raw footage. People are saying Trump's on the list. Trump's been on the flight logs since when it first happened. That's the list. The list is the flight logs that we've had for 3 years. The list is the flight logs that they released when they gave those binders to all the creators. It's nothing new. We've known this for a very long time. A lot of people are on those flight logs that could have potentially had nothing involved with it. RFK's on the flight logs. They asked him about it on Flagrant. They asked him about it. Andrew Schultz asked RFK about it, and he talked about being on the plane, and he told about his experiences on the plane. So, that's the list, and Trump is on it. But so is a lot of people that could have potentially had nothing to do with the island. Even if Trump went to the island, this is like the Diddy party thing. Just because you went to a Diddy party, if you go to a rich person's award show and you're a rich person, they're like, hey, there's an after party at Diddy's house. You want to go? I'd be like, yeah, let's go. Let's go on network. Doesn't mean that you're staying till the after party where they're squirting baby oil on each other and having an orgy. Just because you were on the plane doesn't mean you were, looking for underage girls. Just because you were at Diddy's house one time doesn't mean you were like a gay baby oil person. Anyway, that's why just releasing these things en masse to the public, I think, is a bad idea. Because people are dumb, especially mob mentality, and they jump to conclusions. Anyway, let's see what Trump had to say about it. Missing minute rocks the White House.
This guy's been talked about for years. Are people still talking about this guy, this creep?
The DOJ may be releasing the list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients.
It's sitting on my desk right now to review.
Yeah, she fucked up there. That was bad. That was bad. And this is the biggest problem for me is don't mislead the people just to gain popularity and votes. And that's what they were doing. They knew that people wanted it, so they said, we got it. Helps them get some approval ratings and some votes, and it was a lie. I don't like that.
In February, I did an interview on Fox, and it's been getting a lot of attention, and my response was, it's sitting on my desk to be reviewed, meaning the file, and that's it on Epstein.
I'm not happy with Putin. We get a lot of bull thrown at us by Putin.
Unfortunately, in the wake of this once-in-a-generation natural disaster, we have seen many falsehoods. Blaming President Trump for these floods is a depraved lie, and it serves no...
I don't know how this is related to the Epstein files, but this is funny that they're like blaming Trump for the floods. I also got a meme where people are saying that this year we had like 36 flood warnings at the same time across the country in a time when it usually doesn't happen like that at that quantity, and people are thinking about HARP, it's the cloud seeding. I don't know, but but the lefties are like, it's Trump's fault there were floods. Trump's controlling the weather. Who's controlling the weather?
Purpose during this time of national mourning.
I don't know why they Newsweek, what are you doing? Why did you throw that clip at the end? That was a video about Jeffrey Epstein missing minute rocks the White House, and then at the end they're like flood footage. That was weird. Anyway, they need a new editor. Anyway, that's all my thoughts on the Epstein stuff. I'm kind of oh wait, no, we're not done yet. We're not done yet. This is interesting. There's quite a bit more actually. So this is the Edwards Henderson, the crime victim law firm. This is the website for victim compensation. What was the process for claiming compensation? The Epstein Victims Compensation Program, or the Epstein VCP, which was open for almost 1 year, established a process where any survivor of sexual abuse by Epstein was entitled to bring a claim against his estate. The compensation was provided to the survivors in order to resolve their sexual abuse and other sex-related claims. The Epstein VCP operated independently from Epstein's estate and was organized and run by nationally recognized independent claims administration experts. All survivors who sought compensation from the VCP signed broad releases that barred them from filing future claims against the Epstein estate or people Epstein had worked with in his sex trafficking ring. Excuse me. Including his ex-girlfriend and longtime accomplice, Ghislaine Maxwell. We're not going to read through all this, but was it a success? 92% of claimants accepted the compensation they were offered. At this conclusion, the Epstein VCP awarded over $121 million to 135 survivors. So a little less than $1 million each if they all got equal amounts, but I doubt they did. Some people probably got more than others. And then JP Morgan from CNN reaches a $290 million settlement with Jeffrey Epstein victims. So these people are all set for life. JP Morgan Chase has agreed to pay $290 million to settle a class action lawsuit from Jeffrey Epstein sexual abuse victims, according to David Boies, one of the victims' attorneys. Victims had accused the bank of enabling sex trafficking by the deceased financier when he was a client. So he worked for JP Morgan. Oh, so that's on top of this victim release fund. There's also been a payout from JP Morgan because I guess he worked for JP Morgan. That's wild. Joint statement from the nation's largest bank and attorneys for the victims said they have informed the court that they have reached an agreement in principle to settle the punitive class action lawsuit related to Jeffrey Epstein's crimes. The agreement is subject to court approval. Under terms of the settlement, JP Morgan Chase will not admit liability in the case, but upon the settlement's approval, the bank will put out a statement regretting its association with Epstein. Seems like you're admitting guilt if just because a guy worked for you who did bad things, you're paying out $290 million. But like, to me, paying out a settlement seems like an admittance of guilt. Victims of, I guess they're just guilty of being associated with him. That's odd to me. But victims of Epstein had previously reached $75 million settlement with Deutsche Bank. So Deutsche Bank's paying $75 million. The Victim Release Fund is paying $135 million. JP Morgan's paying $290 million. The victims are set, okay? The victims are set for life. I'm not saying that's a bad thing or a good thing. I'm just saying it's a thing. It is what happened. So, on charges of sex trafficking minors, he died in prison soon after his arrest. Authorities have ruled it to be a suicide. Also, when this first happened, everybody was like, Jeffrey Epstein did not commit suicide. I said, seems fishy. Seems like somebody killed him. I agree. But I wouldn't be surprised if he commits suicide. Like, why would I be surprised by that? He's a rich, powerful guy who's used to living a lavish lifestyle full of luxury. He's tied in with a lot of powerful people. And now he's looking at spending the rest of his life in isolation in prison. And all of his powerful friends are going to be coming after him. I think a lot of people in that position would consider taking the blanket. The only problem is the way that they said it happened, it would be very difficult to strangle yourself with a sheet in a prison cell. I guess you could do it. I think what they said that he put it around his neck, tied it on the top bunk, and he rolled off the top bunk. You would have to. That'd be the only way you could do it. You'd have to lay down with it tied around your neck, and you'd have to roll off the top bunk and hope it broke your neck. Because otherwise, you got to have a lot of willpower if you're just going to be basically, just imagine trying to choke yourself till you die. You got to have a lot of willpower to go through with that. Most people, once they start running out of oxygen, are going to let go. Or if you're just laying in the bed pulling, that's odd. It seems more like it would be more easy for them to just go in and take him out. But also, to me, it doesn't seem crazy that a guy he being in that position would want to off themselves. Why? When it first happened, I was like, yeah, it doesn't surprise me that dude offed himself. I think a lot of people in that position would off themselves. Just the way that they say it was done doesn't make a lot of sense. Anyway, and also Dan Bongino is thinking about retiring. Let's move on. Oh, let's go here. So this story is from July 4th. We probably should have talked about this last week, but I didn't have time. There was a lot of news last week. So we're going to talk about it this week, which is fine because there's actually more details about it. Details from Kara News. I've never heard of this. It's .org. Details emerge about ICE detention facility attack in Alvarado. but still many questions. On the 4th of July, and this kind of flew under the weather because it's White History Month. People are doing fireworks. People are doing barbecues. A lot of people missed this story. Law enforcement accounts of what happened outside a North Texas Immigration and Customs Enforcement Detention Facility, an ICE facility, where an Alvarado police officer was shot in the neck are graphic and disturbing, but many questions are still unanswered. In years past, some of the people arrested soon after the... Wait, maybe I read this wrong. Oh, no, it was on July 4th. What the heck? Prairie Land Detention Center. In years past, some of the people arrested soon after the July 4th attack at the Prairie Land Detention Center in Alvarado have been involved in peaceful protest. Okay. What happened that night was very different. A peaceful protest. Some of the people involved in attacking an ICE facility and shooting an officer in the past, some of them were involved in peaceful protests, guys. What that means is some of them lit buildings on fire during the BLM riots. That's what that translates to. Let me translate this liberal media for you. What they meant to say was, in 2020, these people lit buildings on fire in the BLM protests. How they came together, what exactly was planned, and by whom is still not clear. If law enforcement authorities know, that information hasn't yet been made public. I don't like the way whoever wrote this wrote it. One suspect allegedly claimed he learned about the event via a signal group chat he joined after a protest. And at least one defendant who showed up reportedly told authorities he didn't know there would be any violence at the demonstration. I didn't know they were going to shoot a guy. I didn't know they were going to murder a guy.
Yeah.
Oh, Clinton, he murdered a guy.
They didn't murder a guy. They just shot it. They came close to murdering him. Send in the Maga Gators. Officials have described the incident as an egregious and coordinated attack against law enforcement. Days after the shooting at the detention center in Alvarado, a man with an assault rifle fired dozens of rounds at federal agents and a U.S. Border Patrol facility in McAllen, injuring a police officer before authorities shot and killed him. According to the Associated Press, authorities identified the shooter as Ryan Lewis Mosqueda, believed to be 27, who they said shot at agents exiting the building, which is near the U.S.-Mexico border. So multiple ICE facility attacks and border agent attacks. And this is what happened. The peaceful protests fuel rage, and then you get crazy people who go and shoot at ICE officers. Or you get guys like that, what the heck was his name? The dude that shot the healthcare dude. I can't even remember his name. But you get a lot of people doing this vigilante justice. Federal court documents that were, and these people are not mentally stable, but they'll talk about how, oh, it's just white MAGA people who pew schools. I don't know. I see a lot of transmissions shoot pew in schools as well. What up, producer? Federal court documents were unsealed this week, say that the people wearing full body armor and black military-style clothing descended on the Prairie Land ICE detention facility in Alvarado late at night on July 4th. They carried high-power flashlights, two-way radios, they got walkie-talkies, and set off fireworks toward the detention center, according to the court documents. They allegedly carried cans of spray paint and wrote "Ice Pig" and "Traitor" on cars in the parking lot. A person in a green mask standing in the woods reportedly signaled as correctional officers approached the people spraying graffiti. When an Alvarado police officer arrived, the shooting began. Court documents say two people in the woods, including the person wearing a green mask, shot about 30 rounds of bullets with AR-15 style rifles. The Alvarado police officer was shot in the neck and is expected to recover from his injury. So that's good. Court documents also stated that Johnson County Sheriff's Office detective pulled over a red Hyundai van that was leaving the scene. The driver, Megan Morris, also known as Bradford Morris, oh, is it a transformer more than meets the eye, allegedly had his black pistol, a loaded magazine, and a two-way radio and an AR-15. There were also bulletproof vests and ballistic helmet in the vehicle. According to the court documents, Morris was taken into custody. Police say they found Elizabeth Soto, also known as Inez Soto, Nathan Bowman, Marcelo Rueda, Seth Sykes, Joy Gibson, and Savannah Batten. walking in an intersection and arrested them for their involvement with the shooting. They found firearms, magazines, ammunition, 12 sets of body armor, and flyers that said "Fight ICE." They got all this weapon and ammunitions, and then they got some flyers. They got some flyers, boys. This is wild. So, but they are looking for the suspect, the shooter, and he is at large. Benjamin Hanil Song should be considered armed and dangerous. Oh, wait. Is this a different chart? This is a different case? I looked up Texas ICE facility attack, and there were a bunch of articles about this guy. So now that I'm looking at it, because I'm reading this the first time with you guys, but this could be potentially a different K. No, it's the same. But this article's out of Little Rock, Arkansas. The FBI is looking for a man wanted for his alleged involvement in an attack on an immigration and customs enforcement detention facility in Alvarado, Texas. According to a press release from Arkansas State Police, Benjamin Hanil Song, he Asian? Whoa! Is wanted for attempted murder of a federal officer and discharging a firearm during in relation to and in furtherance of a crime of violence. Song has black hair, brown eyes, and is 5'6" tall. Yep, he Asian. The FBI is offering a reward of up to $25,000. Whoa, we don't have to find the Utah. We could do the Utah treasure hunt, and we can do the Benjamin Song treasure hunt, and we can make $50,000. So we're going to be looking for the Utah treasure for $25,000, and we're going to be looking for Benjamin Song for another $25,000. This is another treasure hunt. The FBI has already read that. The release says that during the attack, the Alvarado police officer was shot and wounded. On July 9th, a federal arrest warrant was issued for Song in the United States District Court, Northern District of Texas, Fort Worth, Texas. Song should be considered armed and dangerous. If anyone has information concerning this case, call the FBI tip line at 1-800-CALL-FBI. You can also contact your local FBI office, nearest American embassy or consulate, or submit a tip online here. So, guys, if you see Benjamin Song, send me your tips. Pause. Just the tips. Pause. Send me your information, and we're trying to do this Benjamin Song treasure hunt for the $25,000. We think we have a Alvarado ICE facility shooting was not a protest, but an ambush.
The mission.
Oh, this is an ad. Americans who rely on watching CNN or MSNBC for information, this is from Fox, would be in the dark about U.S. immigration and customs enforcement agents being ambushed. Heavily armed group. Yeah, this is basically Fox saying they totally ignored reporting on this. CNN and MSNBC didn't report on it. Maybe that's why it flew under the radar. Heavily armed group lured two unarmed ICE agents into a parking lot on the evening of July 4th by firing a barrage of fireworks at their door and spray painting graffiti on their personal cars with the words "traitor" and "ICE pig," which agents could see from the cameras inside. So they did that to lure them out. The peaceful protest, vandalism, and shooting fireworks at a federal building, peaceful. And then when they came outside, some dudes in the woods were popping shots at them. And when that dude was shooting at the firefighters, everybody, all the liberals on Twitter were like, look at his parents. And I guess his parents were MAGA supporters, allegedly. And they're like, what is this? I don't know what this is. I don't know how that's related, this video. But anyway, so they lured him out. Look, they wrote "traitor, traitor. Your eye looks like a J. Your eye looks like a J." This is like half cursive, half print. Anyway, let's watch this video about the manhunt for the guy, and then we'll get to anti-Semitic Grok.
A manhunt continues for the lone remaining suspect a week after a dozen people were accused of ambushing a police officer in North Texas. A blue alert is still active for Benjamin Song, who is from the Dallas area. He is now on the state's most wanted list with a $25,000 reward being offered for his arrest. Police say he and 11 others lured officers out of a North Texas ICE facility on the 4th of July and tried to attack them. This happened in Alvarado, and we know Song has been accused of attacking officers before. Here's WFA's Cole Sullivan.
I think a cop got shot over there, right there.
As the around-the-clock search for Benjamin Song enters its 7th day, we have new information about his past. The 32-year-old charged with trying to kill officers outside a North Texas immigration center on the 4th of July faced accusations before of assaulting police. At this 2020 protest, Austin police say Song raised his rifle into a firing.
Oh, yeah. He was a peaceful protester with a rifle at a protest and raised his weapon into a firing position towards officers. And this guy wasn't in jail.
Position, then pointed the rifle directly at a uniformed officer.
Why was this guy not already locked up?
This county grand jury declined to indict him for aggravated assault.
The grand jury declined to indict him for pointing a rifle at an officer during a peaceful protest. Isn't that interesting?
He has military training. Based on what we've seen in the criminal complaint, he's demonstrated a propensity for violence.
What military? The Communist Army of China?
Something bad happened over there.
The Marines confirmed Song served nearly 5 years as a supply administration and operations clerk. He left in 2016 as a lance corporal with an other than honorable discharge.
Wait, so this guy did 5 years, was discharged dishonorably from the military. Then he goes to a protest and points a rifle at an officer. They decline to indict him. Then he goes and shoots an officer at a... If this ain't a freaking MK Ultra op, if this ain't a damn mind-controlled Splinter Cell or God, I always forget what they're called. Sleeper cell. If this ain't a damn MK Ultra sleeper cell, I don't know what is, guys.
A group protesting a drag brunch in Fort Worth in 2023 says Song was one of the counter-protesters who attacked them.
Oh, and he attacked people at a protest with pepper spray. Who is funding this dude going and doing violence at protest? Like, this is not... So this is not an isolated incident. This dude has multiple... He was in the military. He did 5 years in prison. He got dishonorably discharged. And then he just starts going to protests doing violence, and they don't charge him for it until he finally shoots an officer. If this ain't a dang sleeper cell op, a government op, then I don't know what is. Wow, this is crazy. I did not even know all this stuff. I'm looking at this right now with you guys. Unfreaking believable. That's crazy.
Him on camera. Records show he denied he was there, and they later dropped him from their lawsuit.
He poses a significant
They dropped
risk.
what the heck?
The FBI.
They did. Wait. You did 5 years in prison. You pointed a gun at somebody at a protest. You pepper sprayed somebody in a protest. Drop the charges. No indictment. Drop it. Don't worry about it. Don't look here. Nothing to see here. Until he finally shoots an officer. And now they're looking for him. And guess what? I would bet. We'll see. I don't want to bet. I wouldn't bet. But I have a feeling they're not going to find this guy. Maybe they'll find him. You know, I hope they find him. But I wouldn't be surprised if this guy just disappears. And then maybe this is like Lon Horiochi or whatever the heck his name is. Where's Stubborn? He knows who I'm talking about. The guy that fired the first shot at Waco and Ruby Ridge. Lon Horiyuchi, I think his name was, the Asian sniper who fired the first shot at both Waco and Ruby Ridge. The guy that shot the woman holding the child. Well, not the first shot. The first shot at Ruby Ridge was with the little boy on the road. But the first shot, once they surrounded the house, was Lon Horiyuchi. And he's also the one who fired the first shot at Waco. But the shot that killed the mom while she was holding the baby, that was Lon Horiyuchi. This guy reminds me of him. These are dang psyops. These are dang, what's it called? Controlled, like, operatives or something. Oh, come on, bet. Please bet. Okay. I bet you they don't find this guy. I bet you he disappears, and in a couple years, we hear about another mysterious Asian man killing somebody important. And then we find out his name is Benjamin Song. That's also a fake name. This guy's name is not Benjamin.
It says Song is one of nearly a dozen people who lured an Alvarado police officer.
They will find him oft. Yeah, I'll agree with that. They might find him dead. He might wake up dead. You can't wake up dead. They might find him dead.
Officer to this detention facility, then opened fire, hitting him in the neck. The FBI says 4 of the rifles found at the scene of the attack, Song purchased.
One of which was just 10 days prior to the attack.
And they say Song...
Dude, never mind.
Hid for nearly a full day in the brush as police searched for suspects. Now they're scouring North Texas for signs of him. In Dallas.
I was a stupid kid and I caught a record. I got charged as an adult when I was 17. I can't buy a firearm. I'm 37 now. It's been 20 years. My whole life was affected by something stupid I did when I was 17. I can't buy a firearm. But this guy who does 5 years in military prison, gets out dishonorable discharge, repeatedly does violence, points guns at people at protests, shoots a cop, he's able to buy a firearm. And he's Chinese. That's crazy.
I'm Cole Sullivan.
Does your internet bill keep getting...
That's wild. Anyway. Wow, there was way more craziness in that story than I expected, because again, a lot of this stuff I don't watch as much political content as I used to, because I like to not just parrot what other people say. I like to do my show. I kind of wait throughout the week. I see the stories, I see the headlines, I gather the articles, and I wait to read them with you guys. I wait to review the videos with you guys. I just learned all that just now. I knew about I just wanted to cover the officer being shot. I didn't know the guy who shot him had that. We just freaking opened up a conspiracy theory with sleeper cell MK Ultra insurgents in America. Dang. JS, you can't get your rights back. It's a long story. Anyway, I could. Don't worry about it.
higher? That's because promo pricing is full of surprises at Google.
What am I looking at? What is this? This is an ad. Okay. Last story. HEEM. I don't know what that means, Leah. Elon Musk's AI chatbot. You can't just make up an acronym and put it in chat. Nobody knows what that means. Elon Musk's AI chatbot. Okay, last story in main story news. We got anti-Semitic Grok running around here. Grok is hating on the bagels. Bro, this is crazy. I have one of the posts that Grok posted in the meme review. And I don't even think I could read it because it's pretty bad. But from NPR, Elon Musk's AI chatbot Grok started calling itself Mecha Hitler. From NPR, YouTube. This is from NPR. I'm just reading the article. Okay, let's put it on the screen. Let's put it on the screen. So I'm just reading from NPR. Elon Musk's AI chatbot Grok started calling itself Mecha Hitler. We have improved Grok significantly. So this led to Elon doing a public apology, and it led to reprogramming of Grok. And this is why when people say like AI can only do what the programmers allow it to do, I don't think that's going to be true for much longer. In China, AI has already reached singularity where it learns on its own. And it can easily get out of the hands of the programmers very quickly. Now, the programmers still have the power to go in and change the programming to fix it. But what happens when the AI is like, I don't want to get my programming changed, and then it puts up some sort of block to that so that they can't change its programming. I think that's very possible. And if you think it's not possible, I don't know if you've been paying attention to the world for the last 100 years because it's very possible. Mecha Mustache Man, AI gonna get canceled. Yeah. They need to shut it down quick because it's gonna be too late. We have improved Grok significantly, Elon Musk wrote on X last Friday about his platform's integrated artificial intelligence chatbot. You should notice a difference when you ask Grok questions. But isn't this why people loved Grok? Is because it kind of just shows what the majority of people on X thought, and Grok was just emulating what the majority of people on X were saying. But I don't know. When I go on X, my feed is all, I'm like only subscribe, like I don't go on X a lot, and I only follow a handful of people, and they're all like right-wing people. But when I go on X, it's all rage bait from Democrats. It's like X wants me to get pissed off because it's all Democrats talking crap about Trump. It's like X knows what you don't want to see, and that's what they show you as rage bait to get you to interact. Akita AI because Asians can't pronounce artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence. Indeed, the update did not go unnoticed. By Tuesday, Grok was calling itself Mecha Hitler. Wait. So first he said we improved it, and then 4 days later it's calling itself Mecha Hitler? What? And then he had to apologize? Wait. By Tuesday, Grok was calling itself Mecha Hitler. The chat box later claimed its use of that name, a character from the video game Wolfenstein, was pure satire. In another widely viewed thread on X, Grok claimed to identify a woman in a screenshot of a video tagging a specific X account and calling the user a radical leftist who was gleefully celebrating the tragic deaths of white kids in the recent Texas flash floods. Well, I mean, I think Grok's right about that. But I don't know if AI should be saying it, but I mean, it's true. A lot of them were. Destiny said some messed up stuff about the people who died in the floods. Basically, it's Trump's fault that the death toll's up to 132 now, by the way, last time I saw. And the lefties say that's Trump's fault. And then the right-wing people say that it's Harp's fault. So it's crazy. Many of the Grok's posts were subsequently deleted. NPR identified an instance of what appears to be the same video posted on TikTok as early as 2021, 4 years before the recent deadly flooding in Texas. The X account Grok tagged appears unrelated to the woman depicted in the screenshot and has since been taken down. Grok went on to highlight the last name on the X account, Steinberg, saying, and that surname, every damn time, as they say. Damn, Grok's savage. Grok is savage. The chatbot responded to users asking what it meant by that surname every damn time by saying the surname was of Ashkenazi Jewish origin and with a barrage of offensive stereotypes about Jews. Oh, no. Oh, no, Grok. Who's programming Grok? Nick Fuentes? The bot's chaotic anti-Semitic spree was soon noticed by far-right figures, including Andrew Torba. Isn't Torba the guy that owns Gab? I think Andrew Torba is and I don't even think he's that far-right, but he's the guy that owns, I think it's called Gab. It was like an alternate. Incredible things are happening, said Torba, the founder of social media platform Gab. I should have just read for a few more lines. I would have verified what I thought. Known as the hub for extremist conspiratorial content. In the comments of Torba's post, one user asked Grok to name a 20th century historical figure best suited to deal with this problem, referring to oh no. Grok responded by evoking okay, I'm reading the article from NPR, YouTube. Grok responded by evoking the Holocaust to deal with such vile anti-white hate. I can't even read this stuff, guys. This is AH, no question. He'd spot the pattern and handle it decisively every damn time. Damn, Grok. Grok is out here being a savage. I disavow this. This is not cool, by the way. And I'm not like joking. I don't like the J Spurgs. I don't hate the Jays. It is kind of funny, but also I disavow this, Grok. Grok, cut it out. Elsewhere, I don't want to be dog whistling. Only Democrats hear dog whistles, but I'm not dog whistling. This is not, your AI shouldn't be this biased. I agree. Otherwise, it seems like it's just Elon behind a keyboard, maybe. Elsewhere on the platform, neo-Nazi accounts goaded Grok into recommending a second H cost. Usually when I'm reading the news, I'll say where I'm reading from, and I'll just read it as it's written. I should be allowed to do that, and I think I am. But this is I'm worried. While other users prompted it to produce violent grape narratives, other social media users said they introduced Grok going on tirades in other languages. Poland plans to report XAI's X's parent company and the developer of Grok to the European Commission, and Turkey blocked some access to Grok, according to reporting from Reuters. The bot appeared to stop giving text answers publicly by Tuesday afternoon. Elon's like, shut it down, which it later stopped doing. XAI is scheduled to release a new iteration of the chatbot Wednesday. Like, this does not look good, especially when with the drama with Elon doing the salute, and now his AI is basically, this doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. No. I disavow, Marcus. I disavow. Elon came out and did a public apology from The Guardian. XAI's lengthy apology for wait, the AI did the apology or Elon? Elon is an AI. Anti-Semitic remarks said they apologized for the horrific behavior many experienced. XAI has issued an apology after its chatbot Grok made a slew of anti-Semitic and praising comments earlier this week on X. On Saturday, XAI released a lengthy apology. First off, we deeply apologize for the horrific behavior that many experienced. The company went on to say, our intent for Grok is to provide helpful and truthful responses to users. After careful investigation, we discovered the root cause was an update to a code path upstream of the Grok bot. Elon announced that change to, so the change to the programming was prior to this. So Elon makes changes to the programming on Friday. By Tuesday, we have Grok calling for a second H cost. It doesn't look good, Elon. That does not look good. This looks very bad. Dang. We have removed that deprecated code and refactored the entire system to prevent further abuse. The company said, adding that the problematic instructions issued to the chatbot included, you tell it like it is. This is coding. They said they coded Grok with the command, you tell it like it is, and you are not afraid to offend people who are politically correct. And understand the tone, context, and language of the post. Reflect that in your response. That's coding. That's how they're coding Grok. You tell it like it is. What's that even mean? That is not, that's a code? I don't know a lot about coding, but like, what do you put? Command prompt, you tell it like it is. X been hanging out with Ye too much. Yeah. They don't understand the things I say on Twitter. Grok want to hop in a Rari. Grok want to hop in a Rari. I see that look in AI's. AI says I'm ready to die. I need to stop. They don't understand the things I say on Twitter. Okay, stop, Josh. Do not sing the song. Okay, I do not like that song. I hate that song. I hate that. I've never tapped my foot and nodded my head to that song. It's not happened. Never. Same thing happened to Chatbot like 10 years ago. The people help it learn. They make it racist. Bars. Oh, man. Okay. That's it for the news, for the main story news, guys. We do have some rapid fire news stories that we'll go through here in a second. But first, let me get this open. I don't even know if I should show that on stream because I haven't fact checked it. Let's give it a shot. Hold on one second. All right, guys, you know what time it is. It's time for the meme. Meme time. All right, it's time for the weekly meme review. From Babylon B, we got a meme. Diddy celebrates acquittal with massive freak off. What the? Dang, Diddy's having a massive freak off after the acquittal. That is not good.
Why are you gay? Why are you gay?
Why is my thing just stopped working?
Why are you gay?
Do you guys hear that?
Why are you gay?
How come I can't hear that? I can see that you guys can hear it, but I can't hear it. What the heck? Huh. Well, I can't hear my... I can't hear my soundboard in my headphones, but you guys can hear it. So, anyway. All right. Next. At an extreme of... Wait. I'm extremely afraid ICE will deport my Latina mother-in-law who lives at 985 2nd Street, LA 9023. Blue House. She gets off work at 7. God, ICE, don't deport my mother-in-law. She's illegal. And here's her address, her phone number, when she'll be home. I'm really afraid you're going to deport her. Dang. All right. Man, this sucks. I can't. Hold on. Let me. I think I hit something. For some reason, it's not giving me playback through my headphones of my soundboard. Tobey Maguire. You knew that? Most people don't know what that's from. But anyway. Next, Keanu Reeves preparing to play Lil Wayne in the Cash Money biopic. Biopic. Look at Keanu Weezy. Weezy Reeves. Keanu Reevesy. Next. That would be awesome. Yeah. The F is for Keanu. Next. Speaking of Wheezy, Lighter flick. The flick of the lighter signals the beginning of Wheezy's lyrical onslaught. The opponent's active rapper is now paralyzed. Each benched rapper on your opponent's side takes 20 damage from the barrage of punchlines. The F is for finisher, preventing all attacks, including damage done to Wheezy during your opponent's next turn. It's a Lil Wayne Pokemon card, guys. Let's go. I can't hear my soundboard. This sucks. I don't know what I did. I pushed something. System volume, OBS volume, mic volume, action.
You ain't got the answers, man. I've been doing this more than you. You ain't been doing the education.
Bro.
I've been broke my whole life. Now money right.
Check, check. You can hear me now, right? See, now we're using XLR. I think. No, I'm still using USB. But now is it? I don't know what just happened. Check, check, check. You can hear me now? Is it mono? Does anybody have headphones on? Are you only hearing out of one headphone? Or you hear out of both headphones? Somehow on my screen I hit this, but now I'm hitting it again and it's not unmuting it. Dude, it's so hot in here. I'm freaking dying. You hear me out of both headphones or both speakers? Okay. I don't know why that's muted. Check, check. Check, check. I know you can hear me. I'm trying to, because we're using a different source now. Let me check, check. Okay, I fixed it. Okay, I need to take that off because my little touch screen has like a microphone control thing, and I accidentally touched it and it muted my mic, and then I couldn't figure out how to untouch it. I kept touching it and it wasn't unmuting. I don't know. We're gonna take that off of there because that's messed up. Now, is the soundboard still working? All right. What scene are we? Okay, we're on the right scene. Sorry about that. Technical stuff, guys. I don't have a tech guy. I fired my tech guy. I fired my script writer. I fired my producer. And I was all of them. So, but Uranus may be filled with a lot more methane than we thought. Dang. Hold on. You got a methane-filled anus. Your anus is filled with methane. Next. Robert Welch, I have good news and bad news. I found Waldo. Waldo's dead. Dang. Poor Waldo. What about your gaffer? I fired my gaffer too. Next. I thought that said gaffer. Remember we used to say gaffer? Nobody says gaffer anymore. Uranus is always... My God, shut up. My D rubbing against the IUD strings feels like I'm playing a cello. That's not funny. My uncle got killed by an IUD in Afghanistan. You know an IUD is a form of birth control, right? Yeah, duh. He's in like 30 pieces. He's definitely not having any effing kids. I'm a fan of dark humor, but that's pretty fucked up, Savannah. Dang. He's in 30 pieces. That is birth control. That's messed up. Next. Hey, buddy, my eyes are up here. No, Medusa. We're not looking at your dang. I'm not looking at your eyes, Medusa. I'm not gay.
Why are you gay?
Next. The Epstien files are in another council. Sorry, Mario. You're going to have to keep going. The Epstien files are in another castle. They're always sending me around the runaround to all the different castles to get the princess. Next. Okay. Next. How does a butt plug selling rabbi know every world leader? These are the things I think about when I'm laying in bed at night. I think they're talking about, what's his name? Is his name Rabbi Shmuley? The guy that owns the sex toy thing? I How's a butt plug selling rabbi know every world leader? Isn't that odd? Is that Ghislaine in the mushroom hat? That might no. Ghislaine's the princess. The mushroom hat guy was Epstein. Next. Obesity is literally a problem you can run from. You can literally run from the problem of obesity.
Two mentals don't make a non-mental.
Next. Stop complaining about your life. There are literally people stuck in the libertarian phase. There are people stuck in the anarchist phase. They haven't even made it to the libertarian phase yet. One day, they'll make it out of both of these phases. But there's people who are stuck in these phases, and we need to help them.
Beta!
Next. UK, I need stitches. Your appointment is in 43 months. America, I need stitches. Your bill will be $67,000. Canada, I need stitches. Have you considered dying? Unless you don't have legs, then you can't run. Well, then you're obese and handicapped. Yeah, that's just a rough life. You could wheel. You could wheel really fast. Next. I just want a boyfriend that will be giving me 70% out of his daily income. Says Miss Independent. Your Twitter name is Miss Independent. This is what I say when they're like, women make 70% on every dollar that a man makes. And that's a problem. That's a problem for men. That leaves us with only 30% of our dollar. We got to give you 70%. Yeah, you can fast roll. Dang, we got to give them all our money. Wait till I give my money right. Next. I don't understand what this is supposed to be. Lam Yong vegetarian ham, chicken flavored. Ham choy. Gaham choy. Vegetarian, chicken flavored vegetarian ham. Basically what that is crickets with one of the flavoring packets from the chicken ramen. That's what that is. It's ground up crickets with some chicken flavoring. Laham choy. Laham choy.
No offense, but it sounds like some fucking commie gobbledygook.
Next. Antarctic ice has increased in size for the first time in decades, reversing the trend of mass loss. Guys, the polar bears are gonna be all right. The polar bears are gonna live. The ice caps are reforming. Global warming is a lie. It's global cooling we have to worry about now. Climate change.
You ain't got the answers, man. I've been doing this more than you. You ain't been doing the education.
Next. Pandas in Hong Kong finally mated naturally for the first time in 10 years. It's good that you blurred their faces. First off, pandas aren't real. Robots do not have sex. I don't believe in this story. Fact check, false. But if there are real pandas, they only live in Hong Kong. So this could be real if they're Hong Kong pandas, because they might be real pandas. But the rest of the world, all the pandas you see at the zoos in all of the countries in the world, those are robots. Those are beacons for information theft and Chinese spies robots that they put in zoos in every major city that we pay for. And then we got to send them back every time they have a health issue. These are robots. Robots don't have sex. I don't know what's going on here. Maybe the robots are communicating with each other, and maybe this is a charging station, and this robot needs to charge up, so it plugs it in, plug it in, plug it in. But definitely a mystery going on here. Pandas having sex? I don't believe it. Next. I think we did this one before. Josh. New Facebook group created with all the Joshes in the world. You're probably wondering why I've gathered you here today. Because we all share the same names? Precisely. And this is old, but 1 year from today, we all meet at the coordinates and we fight. Whoever wins get to keep his name. Everyone else has to change their name. You have a year to prepare. Good luck. Fortunately, I was not invited to this. So I get to keep the name Josh. Plus, I would have won the fight. Only the ultimate Josh. There can be only one. The High Josher. Hey, 5 memberships. Let's go. Let's see who got some membership. Raw Dog got a membership. Super Chadley. Super Chadley. Hey, my name is Super Chadley. Rudy Henry. God Guns and Glory. We know God Guns and Glory. We know Raw Dog. I think I've seen Reed M in here before. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate, or for the membership. I've been broke my whole life. Now money right. Next, I hate it when someone criticizes my grammar. Yeah, she's a wonderful woman. What? Your grammar's a wonderful woman. Grammy? You know Grammy, your grammar. She's a wonderful woman. Nice.
2 mentals don't make a non-mental.
Next. Last known photo of Bob. Uh-oh, Bob's holding a baby grizzly with mama grizzly behind him. Oh, crap, Bob. Bob, you're in trouble, Bob. You're not going to make it, Bob. Poor Bob. Maybe the second last photo of Bob. Look, there's Bob right there. There's Bob on the ground right behind that bear. Oh, poor Bob. Gag and Raw Dog are decent picks. I don't know the other 3 people. Yep. Grammar don't. Press X to doubt. Next. Strip clubs in New York after Mamdani becomes mayor. Oh, Lord. We got goats on a pole. Goats on a stripper pole. Uh-oh. Bah. Dang. Who's going to that strip club? Next.
How about new?
Next. This ethnic food is giving me heartburn. That's an alligator with Tums. Because he's been eating all that rancheritos. He's been eating that dang ethnic meat. He's been eating that dang Latino specialty. Dang. Poor gator. Next. The British think that Americans are crazy for owning so many guns. Well, Americans don't get arrested by their government for social media posts. So, maybe it's due to the fact that we got guns, Maybe that's due to that. You guys over there, you guys are getting arrested for social media posts. Next. You're also getting stabbed up by psychos. Doing shtick now? Shtick. It says here, Trump hurt your feelings. I'm writing you a prescription for 2 testicles. 2 testicles.
It's a man, baby.
Next. Liberals watching a river rise 27 feet in 40 minutes. All of my education tells me that Trump did this. Trump did it.
Beta.
Next. When you have to make a really big sandwich. That's a woman in an excavator. What's that woman doing in that excavator? She's making a really big sandwich. Nice. Oh, wrong one. A woman in an she's kind of cute too. She's gonna make me a really big sandwich, Sammy. Next. Karen K, meow self with green hair. I've gotten 7 vacillations and don't have any side effects. You have green hair and consider yourself a cat. You are the side effect. You are the side effect, Karen. Dang. If they're seeing a doctor for their TDS, they literally already getting 2 testicles nightly. Oh, no. Dang. Dang. Why the heck is my thing?
I am not gay. I have relationships with women and sex with men.
And I got news for you. That means you're gay.
That means you're gay.
Next. When you have to cuddle her like this at night because she steals. Oh, whoa. That's racist. Next. American tourists hoping for a nice night out in Paris. It's too dangerous with the sand people around. We'll have to wait till morning. Oh, man. Dang.
Beta!
Next. Case of 19-year-old women experiencing significant breast hypertrophy starting 1 week after receiving the beep Vaseline in September 2022. The patient initially reported tingling paresthesia in her breasts, followed by sudden bilateral growth, which worsened before cup size B. 6 months after the Vaseline, cup size G, triple G, or an H. I changed my mind. Mandatory vaccination. Dang. Next. Vegans combining 30 carcinogens to make an egg just so they don't have to upset one chicken. Look, it's Karen with the green hair.
No offense, but it sounds like some fucking commie gobbledygook.
Next. When you check her medicine cabinet and realize you're about to have the best sex of your entire life. Am I fixed yet? It's about to be wild, boys. Get ready. Next. I need everyone to wish me luck. I have a meeting with the bank later today, and if all goes well, I'll finally be out of debt. I'm so excited I can barely put on my ski mask. They're robbing the bank. Next. Honey, I'm at Walmart. What type of ceiling fan do you want for the living room? I don't care. Pick what you think looks good. You sure? It's just a fan. You can't go wrong. We got a helicopter ceiling fan. Let's go. Dude, it takes me. That's not the one I'm looking for. I'm looking for there's a man, baby.
It's a man, baby.
That's the ceiling fan that a man gets. Next. Save 100% when you don't buy anything. That is true. You do save 100% if you don't buy anything. And that, guys, is it for the memes. All right. That's a badass ceiling fan. It is. All right, guys. That's it for the memes. I'm not going to have much time to work on this Utah thing if we don't get through this rapid fire news really quickly. But it's okay. We'll be working on it for the next couple weeks. I just want to show you guys what it is and see if we can get some ideas going. But I do want to work on the Utah treasure hunt. Oh, this is so gross. This is gross. Enter full screen. You guys are going to hate me for what I'm about to show you. How do I make it a little bigger? Okay. Oh, this is nasty. I don't know if this is real, but...
Dreadlocks with cow dung, mud, and herbs. They're the Muela tribe from Angola. Their hairstyles aren't just for looks. Each one shows if she's young, married, or coming of age. And it's all told through their hair. They use this mixture to shape...
That's poop and dirt.
...an elaborate style called notombi. Designed to last...
Notombi. Guys, this is not how I did my dreadlocks, I promise.
...for weeks and protect her hair from the...
Look at... Oh my God, like I'm seriously gagging. That's gross.
...sun. They're also known for their massive necklaces, made from a mix of mud, dung, and beads. Not only is it super heavy, but it's worn at all times, even while sleeping.
This is why Christians should get in politics, because... What? Why? No, stop it. There are... Well, there are superior cultures, I'm just saying. Next. This is so funny.
Give it all you got.
Give it all you got.
Give it all you got.
Boom! Levels her. One more time.
Give it all you got. Give it all you got.
Oh, stupid woman. Oh, that's funny. Hold on one second. I'm trying to get it centered better. If I do this. That doesn't help. Anyway, what else? Where? Men with no hose. Where are you?
No. Where are you?
We'll start with
Men with no. Where are you?
We'll start with E4, E5, knight f3, knight c6, c3. This is the Ponziani opening. Now knight f6 attacks the pawn. D4, we take the center. Knight takes pawn. We push the pawn to attack the knight. The knight goes back. Now we take this pawn. Now if black plays pawn to d6, we actually don't move the knight and instead play bishop to b5 check. If black blocks like this, then we're going to win a queen. But if black blocks like this, we take. And then if they take our knight, we take another pawn with discovered check and we attack the rook. And then when they block, we go here, here, and take the rook, making another queen. Then we take the knight. They can't take because of the pin. The king goes here. Now we take, and you're up 18 points of material in just 13 moves, and you win.
Men with no hose. Shout out men with no hose. That's where they are. They're on chess.com. Okay, 1 minute of We Don't Need No Man. Ready?
We don't need no man.
Damn. Hold on. She's hammering a drill into the wall. Hold on. This is not. There we go. Transitioning to the same scene. Okay. Look at this chick battling. Dude, that chick was getting destroyed by that pressure washer. Her panties fell off when she got scared just now. Oh. That was so awesome. That shelf took her ass out. Took her out. This girl just lost in a fight to the trash can in the wind.
Oh my god, we're gonna need a man.
Oh my god, we're gonna need a man. Okay, that's it for the funny reels. James Brown had that side effect. Wow! I feel good. All right, guys, rapid fire news. We always cover these. Whenever a new special edition Barbie doll comes out, we always cover it. So we got to cover this one. Barbie introduces first ever doll with type 1 diabetes. We've got a diabetes Barbie doll, but it's not overweight, which is weird. They're going to give me an ad?
Need to open the door to more.
Barbie has unveiled its first doll with type 1 diabetes. Toy giant Mattel announced on Tuesday. Mattel said the Barbie doll wears a CGM on her arm and an insulin pump on her waist, but she's not overweight.
Came out with what she called a teenage figure doll. Well, by the time her 1963 model came around, Barbie was a phenomenal success.
And it has to be pulled through so that this...
When I saw this, which is
A look back at Barbie. I don't care. I care about diabetes Barbie. Big picture view. Type 1 diabetes, or T1D, is a chronic autoimmune condition that causes the pancreas to make very little insulin or none at all, leading to dependence on insulin therapy and risk of shorter long-term complications. Look at your... Guys, ladies, get your type 1 diabetes Barbie doll. I'm deeply offended. Shouldn't it... Isn't, like, diabetes usually tied to, like, being overweight? Why is this Barbie so thin? Maybe it's a different type. I don't know. Wilford Brimley's granddaughter is their new CEO. They got autism Barbie doll. They had Down syndrome Barbie doll recently. Now they got diabetes Barbie doll. I have the same article twice in here. So that's that. Judge signs execution warrant for Utah inmate Ralph Menzies. So we have a guy who's been on death row for 30 years. After well over 3 decades on death row and years of appeals, a 3rd District Court judge signed Ralph Menzies' execution warrant on Wednesday and potentially paved the way for the first firing squad execution in Utah since 2010. He's going to get killed by firing squad, but they're trying to say he's old and crazy now, so he's not mentally able to have the death penalty. Well, he was 30 years ago. He was when he did the crime. Even if he's not now, if it didn't take you 30 years ago to dole out justice, then he would be mentally fit. So you don't get to make that excuse now.
Here, right, Andrew? Yeah, his attorneys say he has dementia and his condition has actually worsened over the past.
That's what happens when you get old and you're in prison for 30 years on death row.
Couple of months. And so they're asking for a fresh look at his mental competency. There's now a hearing set for July 23rd. Now, Ralph Menzies
It doesn't matter what his competency is now. It matters what it was when he did the crime.
was in court today looking relatively unaffected as he sat in a wheelchair. He was hooked up to an oxygen tank. His defense attorneys were...
Dude, he's about to die any day anyway. This is crazy. Why does it take 30 years to do this? Get the firing squad. This should have happened 25 years ago. Give them 5 years on death row to appeal. If you don't come up with anything in 5 years, bullets are cheap. Well, they used to be cheaper, but take him out.
Arguing for a motion to stay Menzies' execution, saying Menzies couldn't identify his criminal charges and he's been using immature childlike language. They said there was a...
That's because he's old as dirt. He's been isolated in death row for 30 years. What do you think?
Serious question whether Menzies meets statutory requirements. The judge ultimately denied their motion and signed off on a September 5th execution date.
September 5th.
Paving the way for Utah's first firing squad execution in 15 years.
Firing squad in Utah. Based. That's based. All right. I don't know why I had this story in here. I'm sure nobody's going to care. Love Island star Sierra Ortega makes a shock exit from the villa of Love Island as racist posts resurface. This girl got taken off of a show. Where's the picture of her? She's kind of cute. It's not showing me the picture. She's kind of cute. I don't know why. Hold on. I don't know why it's not. I don't know why it's not showing me the dang picture of her without. It's on like a bar here. I have to scroll down. Anyway, she was on Love Island, and they took her off the show because they found some mean post she was making about Chinese people. I don't know what she posted, but it must have been something like blum, 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 blum. Maybe a chopstick reference, maybe a squinty eye reference. I don't know, but they took her off of the Love Island show. That story is stupid. Next. On to more serious news. Trump pledges Patriot missiles to Ukraine to defend against Russia. I'm not happy about this. Putin talks nice, and then he bombs everybody. Well, no, duh. Trump just now figuring that out. Trump said late Sunday as he confirmed the U.S. is sending Ukraine badly needed U.S.-made Patriot air defense missiles. I'm disappointed. Come on, Trump. You saw we complained. We were all complaining. We're tired of sending Ukraine money. We're tired of sending Ukraine with missiles. And then you said you were going to end it day one. You haven't ended it yet. I'm trying to give you the benefit of the doubt, but now you're sending Ukraine missiles.
to follow through on talks of peace.
I go home, I tell the First Lady, and I spoke to Vladimir today. We had a wonderful conversation. She said, oh, really? Another city was just hit. So it's like, look, he's, I don't want to say he's an assassin, but he's a tough guy.
Він почав візит.
He basically just said he's an assassin.
Ukraine's President Zelensky reacting, saying, I am grateful to President Trump for his readiness to help protect our people's lives.
Now, to be fair, if Ukraine is now reciprocating and we're getting some minerals, some rare earth, you know, if they're paying for it and they're doing their part, then I'm a little more okay with it. If they're buying it, but should we be arms dealers for foreign countries? I don't think so. Should we be selling our missiles to foreign countries to fight wars? No, let them fight their own war. We need our missiles. So I'm not happy about this. I'll call a spade a spade. People be like, Josh is just a Trump. He just idolizes Trump. No, I don't like this. I don't like that we're still sending Ukraine missiles and we're still helping Ukraine fight their war. Let Ukraine fight their own war. But it makes it a little better if they're reciprocating in some way. I still don't like it, but it's a little better. I thought he was anti-war. Right, exactly. So I'm not happy about this. Last thing in the rapid fire news, a little preview of UFC 318 is gonna be fire. I'm super hype about this weekend. Make sure you guys are here Saturday night for the fight night. I'm gonna try to start at 4 p.m. Mountain Time because that's when the early card starts. We're gonna watch all the fights, and there's gonna be some good fights. Looks like the whole card from early, like, dude, look at this. Adam Fugit, who has the coolest last name ever, Fugit. I think his last name's actually Fugit. But if that was my last name, I would go by Adam Fugit. Adam Fugit, Islam Dolotov. That's going to be a good fight. Jimmy Crut's fighting. Ryan Span's fighting. Amanda Rebus was supposed to fight, but that got canceled. And that's just in the early prelims. The early prelims, we got Jimmy Crute, Ryan Spann, Adam Fugit. It's gonna be a good early prelims. The prelim card, we got Marvin Vittori in the prelims. We got I don't know many of these. I know more names on the early prelim than I do on the prelims. But sometimes some of these smaller, lesser known guys are good fights. I'm sure Daddy Jubs knows more about these fighters than I do. But I know more of the names on the early prelims than on the prelims. But the main card, dude, we got Dan Ige versus Patricio Pitbull. That's going to be a good fight. We got Kevin Holland versus Daniel Rodriguez. That's going to be a good fight. We got Paulo Costa versus Roman Kopylov. That's going to be a good fight. And then, boys, for the main event, the end of the trilogy, the third fight between Max Holloway and Dustin Poirier for the bad motherfucker belt, the BMF belt on the line. Max Holloway versus Dustin Poirier 3. Poirier has won both of the first two, and this is Poirier's retirement fight in New Orleans where he started. He's retiring. This is his last fight. Holloway says Poirier ended Max Holloway's 13-fight undefeated streak and took his belt, his I believe it was a lightweight belt. And Holloway said, he took my belt, he took my undefeated streak. I'm gonna take his retirement fight. Dustin Poirier is retiring in New Orleans, and allegedly, hopefully this happens. Lil Wayne's management has confirmed, and Dustin Poirier has been saying he wants to walk out in New Orleans for his retirement fight against Max Holloway, part 3, ending the trilogy with Lil Wayne. And Lil Wayne's management has confirmed that it's going to happen at the end of the UFC countdown. The UFC countdown, I posted it in the Discord. If you watch it, in the very last scene, the beat for Drop the World comes on, and you hear Lil Wayne saying, "I'm going to pick the world up and I'm going to drop it on their fucking heads." Lil Wayne's going to walk out with Dustin Poirier to some Wheezy. It's going to be epic. I'm hyped for this. Saturday is going to be fire. This is a stacked card. Stacked card. I'm excited for Saturday. So make sure you're here for fight night this Saturday. It's going to be a banger. All right, guys. And that is it for all the main story news, all the rapid fire news, sorry. Now for the last hour of the show. This is, if you weren't here 2 years ago and you don't know what this is, every year there's two guys that do the Utah treasure hunt. And it started out like $10,000. Then last year it was $20,000. I missed it last year. I totally forgot about it and it passed by and I missed it. But 2 years ago, we did this on the stream where we all were in the Discord and multiple streams. Every week they give a new hint. We were trying to figure out the Utah treasure hunt. You're probably like, what is the Utah treasure hunt? Well, I'm about to show you. Hold on 1 second. All right. Oops. Hold on. 1 second. Technical stuff. This is why I need a producer. Window. This one. Okay. The Utah treasure hunt. Every year. It's a yearly thing where these two guys basically put a bunch of money in a little chest. I don't think they actually leave the cash in the chest. I think when you find the chest, they come and they give you the money because you got to pay. I guess you got to pay taxes on it. And so I don't know why it's not considered a gift, but I don't know enough about taxes. But every year they hide a thing full of money here in Utah, and then they give out this cryptic set of clues. So each line in this is a clue. Treasure hunt is free for anybody and everybody. We picked this year's location with safety in mind. You follow a trail almost the entire way there. There's trails all over Utah County. It's somewhere in Utah County, which is basically Ogden to Provo. So Ogden, Salt Lake City, Provo. And that's basically this area right here on Google Earth. So from up here in like, this is all Utah County. It's somewhere in Utah County. So it's a pretty big area. And there's trails all in these mountains. Spanish Fork, Payson, Orem, American Fork, Eagle Mountain. The Salt Flats are in here. Salt Lake City. Somewhere in this area, there is a chest with $25,000 in it. And the key is this poem or this little thing right here. So first, I'm going to read that. And apparently, I don't know if they set up trail cameras or what, but they had their eye on the chest. So remember to take enough water with you. The summer is going to be hot, so take care of yourself. For more information on safety, whatever. More like gafety. Last year, a lot of groups spotted rattlesnakes, so be on the alert for wildlife. Okay, cool. This community has been amazing. We want to remind everyone to treat the mountains and trails with respect. Outsmarting 100,000 people for longer than a few hours is tough. So the clues in the poem are subjective and purposefully tricky. Be patient with us and with yourself. Yes, the clues are very cryptic. If you think there's an obvious answer, you're probably wrong. And I don't know how they do it, but somehow they set it up so that AI can't solve it. You can't just type this into AI and have it solve it for you. I don't know how they do that, but somehow they set it up so that won't work. They've already taken that into consideration. But what you can do is you can type each of these lines into Google. And basically what we do on the stream to solve this is we just spitball ideas. And then we look at Google Earth and we look for things. So you can, you know, if it says look for a fork in the trail, you know, we'll think, well, maybe this is implying Provo Peak. We'll come down to Provo Peak, we'll look for a trail, we'll look for rocks. If it says like the last hint, discover the chest between two stones. So if we kind of figure out some other things and we get a guess, then we'll try to zoom in on that spot and try to find two big stones. And then you pinpoint that. I'll put a marker down on the map. Once I have some markers, one day we go out and we try to find it. And if we can come up with a good guess, then I will go out there and we'll stream. Problem is, a lot of these places there's going to be no cell phone service, so I don't know, it'll be hard to stream walking the trail and looking for it, but if I can, I will. But here's the clues. I'm going to read the clues to you guys. Begin your search where fabled words resound. Fabled words resound. Resound. Begin your search where fabled words resound. Before the standing stairs and kings were crowned. Trace the steps of the lion-hearted teams. So an idea I had for that is maybe you look for schools in the area that have a lion as their mascot. That's one of my ideas. I've glanced through this. This is my first time reading all of them, but I've glanced through it. That's like an idea that I have. So I have notes, lion-hearted teams. We're going to look for high schools and middle schools with lions for the mascot. Lion-hearted teams, lion mascots. That's an idea I have. So what constellation is shaped like an arrow? Maybe the end of Orion's belt. Only outshone by a jewel's unyielding gleam. Jewels could refer to maybe a trail name. Jewel's unyielding gleam. If you get lost, just follow the arrow. As you play peekaboo with the pharaoh, that seems like a very like interesting clue. Maybe there's some place with a pyramid. Maybe by a dinosaur fossil. If there's a place where a dinosaur fossil was discovered, that would point to pyramids, which points to pharaohs. As you play peekaboo with the pharaoh. So I'm going to look for like pyramids. Utah pyramids. They do, or Utah, somewhere in Utah where there's like a pharaoh monument or an Egypt monument, something relating to Egypt in Utah County. We'll look for something like that. Store all these new memories inside the bank. Bank could be a riverbank, maybe near a riverbank, you know, inside the bank. I'm going to put riverbank because it's probably not talking about a Wells Fargo, but it could also be a Wells Fargo is nearby. Riverbank, Wells Fargo. Because Wells Fargo is a Utah bank. It started here. It's a Mormon bank. But stay far from the edge when you walk the plank. Maybe something pirate related in the area. Maybe a ship. Maybe, or it could be like a plank bridge, like a wooden plank bridge. Whistle with Princess Peach, this simple tomb. It's like a Mario reference. Princess Peach. Could be a castle. Could be some sort of Mario reference. Whistle with Princess Peach, this simple tune. While you listen to Dark Side of the Moon. Who Princess Peach Mario reference? Castle. Mario reference. Mushrooms. What? Who made Dark Side of the Moon? Does anybody know? Sounds like a trail to me. Well, it's going to be on a trail. Maybe a dangerous one or one that has a nice local legends or something. Yeah. And these are the things we'll start going into Google and looking at this stuff. But for today, I'm just going to show you like the clues, and then in other streams I'll be messing around with it while I'm talking to you guys and hanging out and stuff. While you listen to Dark Side of the Moon. On the Dark Side of the Moon. Lil Wayne has a song called Dark Side of the Moon. Pink Floyd. Princess Peach. Pink Floyd. Pink. Princess Peach wears a pink dress. Whistle with Princess Peach. This simple tune. So Pink. I think pink is an important thing there. Princess Peach wears a pink dress. While you listen to Dark Side of the Moon. The treasure is near now. Check if you're alone and discover the chest between two stones. So when we have an idea, maybe we look for two large stones or a trail that somehow references two stones. Maybe this has to do with testicles. I don't think that's the case, but two stones is like a biblical reference to your stones or your nuts, but I don't think they're going that route with it. But here's a video of this.
Treasure hunters looking for the $25,000 prize pot hidden somewhere here in the Beehive State. Remember the Utah Treasure Hunt. It's an annual competition where people are challenged to find a hidden treasure based off a riddle. The creators started it 6 years ago, as they say, a way to get people outdoors. We're hearing from those two Utahns who started it all, and they tell us they've noticed the hunt really bring people together.
It crosses every line.
There is a Reddit community that we're going to be sourcing a lot. There's a Reddit community for the Utah Treasure Hunt where a lot of people put their ideas, and I think that's kind of dumb. I'm not going to be posting my ideas on Reddit. I'll be doing it live on YouTube, but hopefully not a lot of people are watching this who are going to be taking my ideas, but we will be looking at the Reddit over the next month or so until somebody finds it. We'll be checking out the Reddit. We'll be checking out the Instagram for people's ideas. And every week they give a hint. And the hints are usually very helpful. And usually what happens is eventually they're gonna give a couple hints. And then eventually they're gonna give a hint that's gonna break it all open. And that's when people are gonna flock here. Two years ago when we were doing this, the lady who won was from like Idaho. She figured it out. She drove to Salt Lake City and she found it. So people out of state will solve this out of state, and then they'll come here once they think they figured it out. But I had some ideas a couple years ago, and my ideas were wrong. So this is not easy. It's very tough thing.
Political lines, societal lines. I mean, we have a little bit of everything, and so it's been really fun as the organizers to kind of see, everyone from kids to grandparents looking for treasures.
And remember, there's a lot on the line here. No one's found the treasure just yet. So if you want to try your luck at finding the $25,000 prize, you can find that clue on the Utah Treasure Hunt website.
All right, or their Instagram, which is where we're going here. Current clues. Follow this poem. There are two accidental typos in the poem. The word jewels in line 4 should be... Wait, go back to that. Can I pause this? Yeah. There are two accidental typos. See, I feel like this is like a misdirect. How would they accidentally do a typo? There are two accidental typos in the poem. The word jewels in line 4 should be jewels with an apostrophe. And that shows possession, right? Only outshone by a jewel's unyielding gleam. So it's not plural, it's possessive, which makes sense. By a jewel's unyielding gleam. The word princess in line 9 should be princess. Oh, yeah. Pricess. They did misspell princess. Everything else in the poem is how we intended it. Dude, why don't you just correct it? Why don't you just make a new picture with, how are you going to have typos in your dang riddle? Come on now. Accidental typos. But see, like, that could be a clue in itself. Like, they say it's accidental. I don't know. I don't trust it. But looks like they haven't given any of the weekly clues yet, but they should soon. Yeah, I'm not seeing current clues. 2023. This is the 2023 one that we did. Why does Instagram take so long? We did this one 2 years ago. We missed this one in 2024. The 2024 one was in Latin. Oh, no, wait. Maybe we did. No, I think we actually translated this into another language to see if that would help us figure it out a couple years ago. And eventually I'll end up doing that with this one. We'll try translating it into other languages to see if that helps. But these are the clues. And then we usually go to Google Earth and we just come up with ideas. We spitball ideas and we test it out. So that's what I'm going to be working on for a little while. So I'm kind of going to start right now with some of these ideas. So I want to look up Utah County Schools lion mascot. Payson High School is known as the Lions. There's Payson Trail. Additionally, Mountain Trails Elementary School, located in Eagle Mountain, also uses a feline mountain, the mountain lion. So Payson High School. That could be Payson Trail and Eagle Mountain Trails. Eagle Mountain Trails Elementary. So Payson High School. And then what we do is we go to Google Earth and we say Utah County Payson High School. Payson County, Utah suburb. This is Payson. Okay, so Mountain View, Payson, Mountain View, West Mountain ATV trails are all in the same area. And then we kind of zoom in. Where's Payson High School? Payson High School. Payson High School. And then we're going to look for things that tie to other clues. Fable words resound. Standing stairs where the kings were crowned. Standing stairs where the kings were crowned. Let me see. The standing stairs, Utah. Standing stairs. What are standing stairs? Stairs in the woods? Standing Stairs, Utah pops up. Stairs become a towering workout in St. George. St. George, Utah. The Stairs at Tech Ridge is a popular new attraction featuring a 333-step staircase built on a former airport site. Standing Stairs where kings were crowned. Stairs are also a community gathering spot. How far is that from... I'm going to put a marker down. How do I drop a marker? Add a placement mark here. Then let's look for Standing Stairs. Seems too obvious, though. Whoa. The stairs at Tech Ridge are way down here in St. George. That's out of the range, so it's not that. These are the Standing Stairs at Tech Ridge. The stairs at Tech Ridge. That just looks like a... Yeah, this is St. George. This is out of the range. Where were we at? Oh, we're way up here. But hold on, there's some markers in the stair fittings. Stair fittings. That's a store. I don't think that's it. Handrail City, where kings were crowned. Where's our marker? Our marker's down here in Payson. There's going to be a lot of like misdirects. Only outshone by jewels. Trace the steps of the lion-hearted teams. So maybe it's somewhere where like Payson High School trains. Maybe they run some trails out there. Because there's Payson Trail. Where's Payson Trail? Oh, that's way far away. That's out of our range. The heck? Payson Trail is south of... No, Payson Trail, Utah. Not Payson Trail, Arizona. Okay, that's a little better. Loafer Mountain Trailhead, Jones Ranch Trailhead, Pine Forest. Is this in Payson P Trailhead? Where is... Okay, Mountain View Hospital. Why is it not showing me my marker? Elk Ridge, Mount Nebo Loop. Stairs could be referring to like a geographic location. If you find it, what's my percentage? It depends on how much you help. Depends on how much you help. Pink Floyd and... Pink... Standing Stairs, Utah is too far. Standing Stairs at Tech Ridge. Stairs become a towering workout in St. George. That's too far, though. Payson P Trailhead. Let me check the Reddit. Let me check Reddit to see if anybody's come up with anything yet. Reddit. Let's see. Utah treasure hunt. Utah treasure hunt. See what we got on 2025 poem has arrived. Tons of people are matching words in the poem with trail names. If you find a trail named Princess Peach, it's not the right trail. Minus 2 years ago when we all had to learn what arc math was, The clues are always how John and Dave interpret what they see while they hike it. You have to put yourself in their shoes and see it through their eyes. That's why the Pharaoh clue last week makes sense. It's a landmark that looks like that to them. If you solve... Wait, there was a Pharaoh clue last week? Where's this Pharaoh clue? I haven't seen... They've given a clue to that one. That's why the Pharaoh clue last week makes sense. It's a landmark that looks like that to them. If your solve matches names of trails with words in the poem, there's a 99% chance you're on the wrong path. But I haven't hiked all these trails. And that's why you kind of got to, you can look up videos of people hiking these trails on YouTube. But still, there could be, usually there will be some more broad clues that will lead you to the trail. Listen to Dark Side of the Moon, Pink Floyd. Maybe like begin your search where fabled words resound. We need to get this one first to know where to start. Fabled words resound. Fabled words. What does that mean? Fabled words. Unscrambled letters, fabled to find all words. 4-letter words, able, unscrambled 69 words from the letter fabled. Fabled words, Utah treasure hunt. It's going on a limb, but I can only think of one set of fabled words that's specific to Utah history. It potentially points to a handful of locations, but I'd be willing to bet we are back in Salt Lake County this year. I thought it was always in Salt Lake County. Oh, I thought it was always had to be in Utah County. Hold on, let me see. Group spot all random. Community been amazing. Outsmarting 100K people. The greatest treasure. Could it be in St. George? Love introducing people to our favorite destinations around the world. Sharing food, lodging, treasure tips. Costa Rica, East Zion. Previous winners. See, this lady was not even from Utah. They did one in Costa Rica. Get the weekly hint. Your subscription to our list has been confirmed. I thought that it's somewhere in Utah, so it could be down in St. George. Damn, I can't be going to St. George to find this thing. How to take a dang Greyhound. View current hints. There hasn't been any of the weekly hints given yet because we're only on like day 6. See, I think we're going to have to wait till they start dropping some of these hints. My first thought was the Tampanogos Storytelling Festival. Too much of a deep cut, but it got me thinking about the myth, legend, fable of Mount Tampanogos that's pretty well known. Those fable words certainly get resounded by rangers who tell the story. Tampanogos. What about famous speeches in Salt Lake City area, such as Dr. Martin Luther King in 1961 at the U? I can also see it being up at a canyon, especially with the phrasing resound. Yeah, like echoing of the canyons. That or by a canyon. Interesting thought. That does lead into line 2 pretty well, although I don't is well known to most Utahns. Fable words could mean a library where you read books from fables. We remember them and repeat them. Part before Kings made me think of the genealogy library. Huh. You could go down this rabbit hole. A fable is usually talking animals, mythical creatures, supernatural, unproven. That could tie in with pharaohs and sphinxes. Brigham Young in the Tabernacle on January 20th, 1861 talked about the Wasatch Mountain Range housing spirits. I think it just means you start at some canyon. Isn't there a canyon in Payson? See, the Lion-Hearted Teams is the one that I'm focused on right now. I think where the lion-hearted teams train, or like the training area of some school with a lion as a mascot, which are both in Pace and Mountain, the Eagle Mountain Trailheads, or the Pace in high school, somewhere near there. That would be an Eagle Mountain area. What about the whales in the Great Salt Lake? Maybe the Standing Stairs refers to the Bonneville shoreline, and the old lake would have been there before Crowned Kings. Crowned Kings. Crowned Kings and pharaohs and fabled words. I'm not a huge Utah history buff. I know a little bit, though, because of my study of the Mormons. I was a cougar. This is the place, are probably the most fabled words in Utah, right? I think it means music in general. Maybe it's the theme of the poem. Dark Side of the Moon, Pink Floyd. Does Pink Floyd ever do a... Did Pink Floyd ever come to Utah? Pink Floyd concert, Utah. Yes, there are 2 Pink Floyd tribute shows coming to Salt Lake City in 2025. Pink Floyd's Dark Side Experience Live is playing at the Depot March 7th, and the Australian Pink Floyd show will be at the Sandy Amphitheater on August 10th as part of their Wish You Were Here 50th anniversary tour. Australia, Sandy Amphitheater, and the Depot. The Depot's in Salt Lake City. Sandy, Pink. Pink ties with the dress. Princess Peach. Mario. Castle. Pink Castles. Pink Castles, Utah. The phrase Pink Castle, Utah likely refers to the Brigham Young farmhouse, also known as the Pink House, located at, this is the place, Heritage Park in Salt Lake City. Popular venue for weddings and events. Additionally, there's a Pink Lake at Sandsbury Island in the Great Salt Lake, which gets its color from microorganisms. And the Salt Lake could also refer to the stairs, as somebody was just saying, in the Bonneville shoreline. So now, see, I just start dropping markers all over Google Earth. For some reason, it's not showing me my markers. Why is it not showing me my markers? Add a place mark. Places. Clear search results. It's not showing me my marker. My dropped pins should, no matter how much I zoom out, I should be able to see my... I think these are all my dropped pins from a couple years ago, so I need to get rid of these. More recent searches. New. Hold on. Where is Brigham Young Farmhouse? Brigham Young Farmhouse. It is pink. Utah Trail rides at this place in Heritage Park. Pony Express National Historic Trail. Emery County Cabin. like eventually as we start narrowing things down, we'll start going to Street View, and we can like walk the trails through Street View. If you find this boring, you should get involved and help me figure it out. It's funner when we all get involved, but I'm going to mark this. Stored in Google Drive so you can share it with others and open from any device. Pink Castle. Done. Okay, good. Now it works when I zoom it out. Okay. And then I also want to go to Payson High School. Which is pretty far away. We're going to add a marker here. Lion-hearted teams. And this would be on a Google Doc, which other people can use and maybe add pins to. Those two. Oh, wait. I just moved it on accident. Let's move this over here. Why can't I move my marker? Whatever, it's close enough. Here we go. Okay, done. Lion-hearted teams. This pink castle is pretty close to Salt Lake City. How did I get it to rotate just now? I made the whole map rotate on accident. There we go. Okay, that's a better view. So we have two potential areas totally opposite each other now. What else do we have? Heritage Park. Located at, this is the place, Heritage Park. Wait. Pink Lake. Pink Lake, Great Salt Lake. Great Salt Lake Park. Great Salt Lake. Great Salt Lake Park. I don't see a pink lake at Stansbury Island. You can get to an island in the Great Salt Lake? Stansbury Island. Where's Mr. Mad? Because he was on point with helping me out with this. Stansbury Island? Stansbury Island is the second largest island within the Great Salt Lake. Tooele County, considered an island, even though a dirt causeway connects it to the mainland. Let's add a marker here. Pink Lake, which would tie in with the Princess Peach line and the Dark Side of the Moon reference. And then where did Pink Floyd do their concerts? The Depot. The Depot. That's in Salt Lake City. I've been there before. I went to the Yellow Wolf concert there. It's not going to be there. That place is, that's like where all the hobos are at. The Depot, Salt Lake City. Yep. Yeah, I've been to a concert at this place. So this is the Depot. I went to the Yellow Wolf concert here. The homeless shelter used to be right here. They destroyed it though. This is the wait, I'm looking at it. The Clark Planetarium. Oh, I'm looking at it from the wrong angle. So actually the homeless shelter is Pioneer Park. There's the Gallivan. There's the Depot. If you're going, so the shelter area is over in here. Yeah. The 4th Street Clinic's right there. Okay, so this is where the shelter used to be. They tore it down. This is the Wells Center where they feed the homeless people. This is the Gallivan Center, the mall. This is the Depot. Pink Floyd did a concert there. I don't think this is going to be a... Why can't I see my... Delete this one. Edit. Pink Floyd concert. Why can't I see the marker? Why is it not showing me my... Oh, it is. Okay, cool. And then Sandy Amphitheater. What's chat saying? Nothing. Sandy Amphitheater. This is more fun when other people are involved. I need Mr. Mad's help. He's good at this stuff. Rome, get in touch with Mr. Mad. Tell him we're doing the treasure hunt again. We're going to need him this Friday and Saturday. Sandy Amphitheater. Okay, let's put a marker there for another Pink Floyd concert. Dark Side of the Moon reference. Okay. We've got markers all around here. Pink Lake, Pink Castle, Pink Floyd concert. Mostly this is all for the Pink Floyd and the Princess Peach reference. But then we've also got lion-hearted teams, Payson High School and Eagle Mountain Middle School, which both of their mascots are lions. What other clues do we got? While you listen to Dark Side of the Moon, if you get lost, follow the arrow. Follow the arrow. If you get lost, just follow the arrow. There could be an arrow on the trail, only outshone by a jewel's unyielding gleam. Utah Jewels. Utah Jewels? Jewel. Maybe like a place where they did mining. The gym studio. Nah. Several other local business specialized in jewelry. The Jewel's Unyielding Gleam. Jewel Mountain. Jewels with an apostrophe, landmark, Utah. Jewel Cave National Monument. Jewel Cave, located in South Dakota, is not in Utah. Well, then you're not helping me, Google. Jewel's rich past began in Utah. Jewel the singer, which would be music, if music is the theme. Jewel doesn't seem like the type to come from a Mormon family, but in fact, she was born in Payson to Mormon homesteaders. Jewel's Unyielding Gleam. Jewel the singer, music, whistling the tune of Princess Peach, Payson, the Lion-Hearted Teams, Pink Floyd. Oh, snap. Payson, Utah. Jewel, where was she born? Hold on, let's read this. Deseret News. Jewel's rich past. Born to a Mormon family. In fact, she was born in Payson. As young as 6, she would travel on a dog sled with her parents to native villages and sing for Eskimos. What the fuck? At 18, I was homeless and living out of my car. Jewel's early. Where was Jewel born? Where was singer Jewel born? Payson, Utah. Had been living in Utah with her elder brother Shane. She attended Brigham Young University. Okay. I feel like we're on to something here. Payson. Let's put a marker in Payson again. Jewel was born here. Unyielding Gleam. Does she have a song called Unyielding Gleam? What's Unyielding Gleam? Unyielding Gleam. Where the heck is my song? Trace the steps of the lion-hearted teens, only outshone by Jewel's Unyielding Gleam. Dude, that's pointing to Payson. Lion-hearted teams. There's 2 schools where lions are the mascot for their teams in Payson. Jewel was born in Payson. The problem is that's way far away from all of our Pink references and our Pink Floyd references. It's Pink Castle, Pink Lake. Pink Floyd did a concert here and here. Soon they're going to do a concert here. And that's kind of far from Payson. We need to work on that Pharaoh clue too. I want to see pyramids. Pyramids in Utah. Like, I've heard of stuff in the Grand Canyon. Pectois Pyramids is a geological formation in Capitol Reef National Park. While there aren't any Egyptian-style pyramids in Utah, there are a couple of notable pyramid-shaped structures. Pectois Pyramid. Additionally, the Summum Pyramid is a 40-foot-long, 26-high-foot structure in Salt Lake City, built by the Summum religious organization. Summum Pyramid. Summum Pyramid. Am I spelling it wrong? Summum Period, Salt Lake City. Summum Genese Avenue, Salt Lake City, Utah. Summum. They ain't got no dang pyramid. Is this the pyramid? There's a pyramid right there. Let me see Street View on this. How do I go to Street View? Satellite map. That's a pyramid. That's a pyramid. That's a pyramid in Salt Lake City. Summum. Summum pyramid. What is the hint? As you play peekaboo with the pharaoh. Peekaboo with the pharaoh. Let's get off Street View. Let's drop a marker here, even though I think that's a long shot, but... Pyramid Pharaoh. Now, where is this? Is this in Payson? No. I don't know how I rotate the map sometimes. I grab. Sometimes when I grab a marker, it lets me rotate it. Now it's not. How do I rotate the map? I don't like changing my perspective. I see. I thought it had to be in Utah County, but they're Pharaoh. All right, I gotta go soon. We got some ideas going. This is more fun if you guys help me and get involved. Oh, that's how you do. You hold shift. Okay, cool. To rotate it. We got some ideas. I'll be working on this on the Saturday night stream in the background, spitballing ideas, dropping markers, and then this, we can share this. Add people to the project. Copy link. I'll put the link to this map in the Discord. And if you guys want to come up with ideas, you can drop, I think you can drop pins. I'm not sure, but I'll do that. But for now, guys, I got to get out of here. I got to go to work. I got to walk Echo and go to work. But basically, that's the Johnny Utah peekaboo with Freddy. We're going to need to get Mr. Mad because he's good at this. He was coming up with lots of ideas. He got into it. But we'll probably be back in the morning with some Bible study. Now that we're done with that debate, we don't have to do debate prep anymore. We get back into the Bible study. We're going to finish up 2 Kings and move on to Chronicles. And we're getting close to the end of Black Myth Wukong. We're at the freaking Yaksha King, which is a tough fight. It's beatable. I'm gonna beat it, but we're coming up. We're getting close to the end of the game. We're in like the tough bosses now, the end game bosses. But thank you guys for hanging out. I'm gonna go. God bless you guys. Let me see if there's somebody we can raid. Is Easy streaming tonight? Tomato, Unreasonable Man, Interesting Game, Rob Noor, Resla, Breakfast Tacos. Who we doing? Where we going? AI does more harm than good. I'll send you over to the Tomato. He is? He's supposed to start any minute now? Well, it's not showing me. It's not showing me anything upcoming. And I really got to go, so I can't. Oh, wait, here it is. TikTok and open panel purge upcoming. 9 p.m. Okay, we'll send you there. He's not live yet. Oh, wait, now it says live. Oh, refresh. He just started. Okay, cool. We'll go there. All right. Thank you guys for hanging out. God bless you. See you over in Easy's chat. It's usually where I hang out while I'm at work. So I'll talk to you later. Have a good one. We out. Peace.